Salutations gamers and welcome back to our playthrough of the Divide et Impera mod for Rome 2 Total War. We are now well past turn 120 and we recently got our Marian reforms, which means our military just received a massive boost, which we will take advantage of in this episode, massively expanding our territory in Spain, nearly wiping out the Carthaginians already. Through a mix of shrewd diplomacy over the last few episodes, as well as some plans coming to fruition right now, we are in a very good position. Although we do have a lot of expenses across the board that need to be carefully managed if we don't want to lose it all again. The end of the Carthaginians is definitely in sight and they are struggling to put up much of a defense at all, so this episode is more of a victory lap of our new Marian legionaries absolutely demolishing what is left of Carthage. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome to the border between Narbonensis and Tarraconensis, where presently 3 of our armies are lounging around ready to invade what is left of the Carthaginians in the south, which is actually quite a sizable amount of troops. We take a look here at Tarraco. There's 2 armies and a quarter, and then further south we have another half stack, and I swear during one of these turns I saw another full stack running around somewhere. So we will maybe be dealing with that in this episode. Down south we have 2 stacks that are waiting at the border, ready to invade the Carthaginian presence in Africa. I have advanced about 4 turns since the end of last episode to fix some inefficiencies around our empire, which has yielded a little bit of extra income. Part of that has involved removing an army in Sicily that we had there for a while, stabilizing the region. We just disbanded those entirely. We're building another fleet over here, which is already halfway done. Needs 1 more turn, as you can see, that we're in desperate need of because these Carthaginians might land close to Carthage. I've also moved both of our legions in Corsica and Sardinia down to Caralis. Removed a few units from here. We'll need to upgrade these soon as well. We're in need of the fleet before we can move them, as there are Carthaginian navies around that might destroy our armies if we put them to sea like this. In the north, we have an army that I recruited. This is actually the leader of the Cornelia. I should say the new leader of the Cornelia, because the other one I assassinated to maintain loyalty. Kind of boring stuff. Some politics. We had to get him out of the way. Just pays to have a high cunning general on your side. Now, we're going to recruit another legion here, as we're in desperate need of more troops. And I think I'm going to go for some archers. We're going to go for legionaries. About 8 of those. I can't recruit more this turn. But I usually go for 8 legionaries and then 1 unit of Corps Prima, or first cohort, obviously. And that's pretty much it as far as buying things this episode goes. What we should do is actually attack Siga. And I'm only going to use one of our armies here as a way to demonstrate our new legions. Don't really need much more than that anyways. The other army will pull up soon. This is also arguably our most experienced, best general as far as the battles that he's won. Okay, here we are on the battlefield with a very standard lineup. Legionaries up front. We have 1 unit of the volunteer legionaries here on the side. And on our right side we have our mercenary spearmen, these guys. The African mercenary spear band. Plus some veteran legionaries on the flank. On the right side we have our legionary cavalry and our Campanian cavalry, which we're actually going to use right here to skirmish with the Carthaginian cavalry. Okay, I'm going to run in here, run the Campanian cavalry past them. There's some ships coming in, which is why we have Numidian cavalry over on this side. They'll be able to harass these slower units because both of them are melee ships. Up front we have Exensi, plus 1 unit of Numidian mercenary archers, which are already peppering the enemy here. Some Libyan spearmen. Inflicting a lot of casualties. So we're going to put our Campanian cavalry, who have been with us since the start of this game. Put them into melee. So the idea here is obviously that we pin the enemy on our infantry. We try and flank around on the right side with the help of our elephants as well as the cavalry that we have on this side. That's the entire idea. Meanwhile, I want to use my Numidian cavalry to disrupt the enemy back here and then also get in their back line and take out any archers that they might have. Okay, we're getting attacked here pretty rapidly, so I'm going to immediately move back my skirmishers. I like to keep them up front until I see that the enemy is actually attacking us, just to make sure that my skirmishers take most of the skirmish fire. We'll advance our lines a little bit to fix the gaps that the skirmishers created, even though it probably doesn't matter much. Our legionaries have thrown their javelins, except for our veterans. Make sure we close this gap. We're using the buildings on the left side here as sort of a cover for our units again, because it means it's harder to flank around for the enemy. And we'll go in here now, get our charge bonus as well. We'll keep back one unit as there's some enemy units coming in from this side, so we'll keep these guys back, cover our side, just to make sure that they don't flank around us. And it looks like we've successfully pinned a lot of enemy troops here in the center. I don't want to advance too far here. These guys are actually too far forward. I'm going to fall back, actually disengage this once more. Try and get back in line, because this unit is a little bit caught out. I do not want. And we have the enemy general here, sort of lonely. So we'll charge him with our legionary cavalry and our Numidian cavalry. Can skirmish him quite well. Our Numidian mercenaries are taking heavy javelin fire, it looks like. We're gonna run in here now with our javelin, and this is now the time for our elephants to shine as well. We're blocking the enemy general. There's not much left back there. Gonna use our skirmishers here to target these enemy ranged units. You can see the units that I was worried about flanking us are also pinned now, so we're gonna move these legionaries in position and kind of wrap around this militia. Get any enemies back pretty much everywhere. The enemy general is being killed. We're gonna use our Numidians here now on these javelin, although not much is left of them. Get these guys in there anyways, just mop up what's left of the enemy. And let's get our elephants in there and decide this battle. This should go fairly quickly. Not the greatest angle, as there are some of our own units blocking the elephants, but we'll just sort of ride them through this. This is a large blob of enemies over on the side. You can see they're definitely causing some good damage, the elephants. Spam click, as always. I know this is kind of an annoying way to use elephants, but it is. I've tested a lot, and this is just what works. You can see they're just walking through the enemy lines and destroying everything in sight, although our charge was kind of mediocre. We've broken the enemy front line. Our legionaries, even without the elephants, are decimating them. I'm gonna run out here and try and charge again. I think our lack of movement speed sort of killed that charge. Very nice. That was a fairly clean battle, I would say. We lost barely anything, as you can see. And that is Siga in our hands. We can move up this other army as well, get them in range of the settlement in case there's a counterattack. Although I think this army will just camp over in Pingis. Now over here, I do think that the Carthaginians are probably amassing an army. I think we'll see some more units come in soon to face us over here at Nabo. Something else I'm a little bit worried about is actually Burdigala. And because of that, we're going to recruit a spy here. Get her in the fray and send her up to this region. On this army over here, we're recruiting some more troops. And I want to get this army ready and send them to Narbonensis as well. We do have to worry about supply in this region, which is already kind of halfway used, more than halfway. And outside of that, nothing else to do here. So let's advance until the next turn. Our legionaries here, as I said, they use tier 3 population now. If you hover over this, you can see the different population types. Patrici, plebs, proletarians, and the peregrini. And you can see proletarians are rank 3, tier 3, so they're going to be much easier to replace than all the other population types. There's a Carthaginian navy. They're probably going for Alalia again, aren't they? Just being annoying, as usual. But we already have an army up here. So I expected something along these lines. Now we'll go for a balanced stance defense here. And we'll probably give this guy some units for the next turn. They're going to continue doing stuff like this with their navies just randomly attacking our settlements. If they know that a garrison is weakened somewhere, they will try and go for it. And this garrison is still not fully recovered from the conquest a while ago, I think. Okay, meanwhile, the two armies around Tarraco have actually pushed further south, it looks like. We're gonna move our spy up in this direction. Okay, so two armies are still around here. And we have no presence of Carthaginian armies here. Well, we have one right here in the Lusitania area, actually. So as you can see, there's still a lot going on over here. We're going to use one of our armies here, and I think we're going to push south at the risk of being ambushed. I would rather have it be this army, as I think they're a bit better equipped in terms of cavalry. I think I'm going to try and go for this 1v1. The main reason being, if I go with two armies, these guys are going to retreat, whereas if I force a 1v1 here, they're going to take the battle, and this is still one that I think I can confidently win, kind of thin their numbers, while also using up less supplies in our own region. Okay, here we are on the battlefield, advancing towards the enemy. In the very center, we have our Corps Prima, which we didn't see earlier. That is the first cohort. You can see it's double strength compared to these regular legionaries. And it's actually led by the Primus Pilis, this guy right here, the first spear. That is the most senior centurion of a legion, leading the first cohort, obviously. And in case the officers died back then, the Primus Pilis would have been in charge. So a very well-respected part of the legions. It always reminds me a little bit of the modern sort of sergeant, kind of like a platoon sergeant. Obviously, a platoon is a much smaller size to compare it, but it always reminds me of that. The platoon leader, kind of the link between the simple soldiers and the officers. Okay, we are advancing rapidly towards the enemy, who is on sort of an incline up here, which is a very well picked spot to fight, actually. Probably the most ideal they could have picked. I'm impressed. Don't know if that's intentional, but we have some elephants over on this side that we'll need to deal with, which is also why we have some Tarentines over on this side, who will be able to throw javelins at these guys. Obviously also have archers that we can use to target the elephants, also with fire arrows, and we have lots of javelins on all of our infantry. Let's make sure we sprint into position here. What's going on here? Why are you guys so far behind? There we go. Okay, massive cavalry push over on this side now. So that's 2 cavalry units, elephants. We're going to use some legionaries over here, and we're going to move our general over on this side too. And we're going to have to eat this charge here with our Ligurian spearmen, unfortunately. Both sides, same thing. Okay, we're going to use our general to run in here and assist. Get our Tarentine cavalry around the side and then put them in melee as well. Meanwhile, our infantry, we're going to lock. They've thrown most of their javelins and we can charge. Gonna get in there. I think we're gonna use one of these units here to assist the Ligurian spearmen against the elephants. Okay, they have lots of javelin men here. Move up some veterans. Sure, we wipe these guys out. Over here it looks like they tried to disengage, but they must have taken a lot of... Yeah, they took a lot of casualties disengaging from us. We're seemingly winning the cavalry skirmish on the left pretty confidently. Gonna close these gaps here and let's target these units in the back. Heavy command. Not exactly what I want to go for, but let's target that. The elephants are obviously a bit of a problem. We're gonna run around here with these legionaries and get them the side. Meanwhile, we continue to shred the enemy cavalry on the left side. Our legionary cavalry is definitely an upgrade to what we had before. Let's make sure we win this here quickly. I'm actually going to disengage our Tarentines. They've taken a few losses. I want to try and target these units in the back here, these archers. This is taking a little while now. After we wipe the other unit out very quickly, this one is taking a little bit longer. So one downside of us not having javelin in this army is the fact that we can't use javelins against elephants. So the elephants can cause a bit more damage. Some legionaries over here will move all of these troops in. I think they've routed the troops that they were fighting over here. Gonna spread out our fire a little bit. Our archers. Alright, come on, finish this off. Yeah, don't get stuck, come on. It's right in there. Took a bit more damage than I would have liked at the end of the day. Let's hope these guys don't run off the battlefield. Meanwhile, at the back, our Tarentines ran into the enemy, but didn't cause a whole lot of damage, I think. In part because they were already under strength. And our infantry is busy. This is our first cohort here fighting against some Carthaginian sacred band. So they don't have the easiest matchup, but they are the pride of the Legion. Also carrying the Legion's Eagle. A very fun TV series, by the way. If you haven't seen it, is the old series. I think it's just called Rome. Which actually has some legionaries getting their... Well, not some legionaries, but it has a legion getting their eagle stolen. Caesar's eagle. And then the protagonists are sent out by Caesar himself to recover the legion's standard. Because that's obviously something that you'd want to recover. I think we're gonna try and charge through this side, target this unit of Sacred Band, which is holding us off. They're not causing a lot of damage against our first cohort, but they're definitely holding us up, just like these guys, yeah? Just way too sturdy, considering they are completely surrounded. But yeah, Roman battles are very easy from this point onwards. It's basically just about getting your infantry in the fray. I mean, that's pretty much what we've been doing, but it's even more efficient now because our infantry is so easy to replace, right? Okay, that is the Carthaginians dealt a significant blow. We're going to kill captives here, and I hope that that's going to stall any invasion that they might have planned. Move this army back. They are in reinforcement range of these other guys. We'll move this army close too, just in case. And we'll get them back into safety. Maybe on this army right here, I'm actually going to raid this turn. It's going to give us some extra income. Might as well while we're down here. And then perhaps the other two armies, while one of ours is reinforcing, we will keep in the enemy territory to continue raiding and not use our own supplies. Down here, the Carthaginians seem to have retreated, unless they are in ambush stand somewhere. In this settlement down here in Siga, we're going to go for a civil town. I'm going to get rid of this. I want to get a fishing port, but level 3 fishing port is too much public order negative for now. And we'll get ourselves a grain silo here. Our navy is now ready. As you can see, 19 ships. Could use one more, but I didn't have enough recruitment slots. We'll go for this army here before they can land anywhere. And just wipe them out. Unsupported by any sort of navy as they are. And they retreated somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm not going to chase here. Instead, I'm going to go immediately to Caralis to get our replenishment on the way. And then within the next 1 or 2 turns, we should be able to get our 2 armies into the fray as well, who are stranded on Corsica and Sardinia. Let's recruit some more legionaries here. And we also have access to these late Italic swordsmen, but outside of being cheaper, they don't really have any advantage over the regular legionaries. In fact, they are probably slightly worse just for the fact that they use pleb population rather than proletarians, which is just... That is so last century, you know what I mean? We're gonna get some legionary cavalry. And we'll do more recruitment next turn whenever we have money again. We are, by the way, trading with the Tabri over here, and they're actually a client state of ours now. That was something that I did during the 4 turns that I did not record. And we're also trading with the Getuli down here, who have decided to turn on the Carthaginians after being their friends for a long time, as they see the tides turning in our favor. So we are making a little bit more money now, and we'll use that money to invest more into our legions, get another legion on the way, get these legions, get them some more spearmen and whatnot, and then I think we might send some more troops to the north and finally tackle the Alpine regions, or maybe even Epirus. We'll have to see. We'll take a look at the diplomatic climate soon. Okay, really nothing much happened here with the Carthaginians. We're gonna send our spy in this direction, just make sure that nothing's being raised up here in Budigala, but it looks like we're good. Put these guys back. And they're gonna get some nice replenishment. Meanwhile, these guys were also gonna raid with them. Put our armies to good use. And also allow our supplies in this region to recover a little bit. So we could go for Tingis straight away, as there isn't any enemy presence here. Unless they are ambushing us, as always. I think that's what we'll do. We might not make it this turn. Not enough movement, so we'll go in here and start raiding. Okay, meanwhile our navy is almost fully replenished, and I'm gonna board this here straight away. These guys on the ship, and you guys can enter the ships as well. Well, you'll be next to the ships. See how far we can go. About right here. And let's get them over to Sicily. Then we'll let them run the rest of the way. I think that's going to be faster. And it's also going to free up our navy sooner, so we can use it somewhere else. For example, over here in Tingis. Well, thank you, Epirus. You know, Epirus and us, we have sort of a quiet agreement. They don't want to actually agree to anything in diplomacy with us. But they also never attack us. They would just not do that. We are so far into the game now, they've just left us alone. They know we would just beat them. So Epirus has... They're just content being left alive, essentially. Okay, this army, we're going to send them into Cisalpina. And recruit a few units up here. We'll go for some more some more Ala Legionaria. Some legionary cavalry. And get some spearmen. And I think for the last unit here, maybe we'll get some more. Let's just get some more legionary cavalry. Usually I like to mix up the cavalry a little bit, so you have cavalry for sort of every possibility. Just different types of cavalry, but it's fine. Alright, put these guys to land. Army view. And over here we need some spearmen in pretty much both of these armies, but we don't really have great spearmen available down here, so let's send these guys through Italy and also to Cisalpina. We do have some Tarentine white shields here, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. We could go for some Tarentine Thureos spears. Get 2 of these, and then we need some more legionaries in this army and a Corps Prima. 6. I should get rid of some of these guys. I think I'm going to get rid of the Ligurian cavalry here as well. At this point, the Ligurian cavalry is just not good enough for us anymore. I think we'll go for the legionary cavalry just because of that reason. We should be replacing them with more competent units that can cover our flanks reliably, as we do have the money for it now. There's really no excuse at this point. Let's go for Tingis. Okay, so if that's what one army does, 2 armies will be enough to auto-resolve this very easily. Occupy. Get these guys out. And that's another settlement in our pocket. Not enough money to do anything here. We'll do that next turn. Get all of this constructed. Let's see what's across the sea here. one Carthaginian army in Kaltuba. We have another one over at Mastia, so they could come and meet us with 2 legions here. So I will sit across the pond for a while, replenish our units, and then eventually we'll send them over. We can actually upgrade our cavalry here, which I just noticed. Over here, we'll continue raiding for the time being, I think. Make sure this other army is fully replenished first. And we're also waiting for these guys to come in, obviously. And once they are here, with 4 legions, we should have absolutely no trouble. On our general here, I'm going to continue going military logistician, rightful sovereign, unwavering patriot. You see what that does to our money? Fantastic.
As an Egyptian, I am unused to begging, but I will beg for a treaty if that is required.
I think a non-aggression pact with Egypt is probably a good idea, if they are offering it, because we have nothing to lose by that. If we want to fight them in 10 turns, we can still cancel the non-aggression pact. And meanwhile, in Africa, we'll be a bit safer, because we do not have any armies on the border next to the Nasamons and Egypt right now, which is a bit of a gamble, but I don't think the Nasamons are going to declare war on us at this point. Okay, we're going to go civil progress here, although we're almost done with this research. This is going to be a big point in our campaign once more. Improved plumbing means we can upgrade a lot of our buildings to level 4. Which is going to mean a massive boost in our overall income. The Carthaginians pushed out of the settlement here. And this is looking pretty juicy. I think we should probably go for that. Might be a trap once more. They're definitely going to retreat whenever I engage them here.
At your command. At your to battle.
I'm not sure. I think we'll just sit back. Let's sit back. One of our armies is still raiding. Maybe they'll go for us next time. They don't have enough troops over here to deal with this. Let's send our spy back over on this side. Make sure this army in Katuba is still there. Yep. They're still sitting around. These 2 armies are pretty much replenished. Okay, our navy is freed up now. Transported these 2 armies away. So we're going to send these guys over in this region here too, as they can help us sieging down some of these settlements like Mastia and whatnot. We'll get these into the fray. Our Governor General will march down and we'll give him 3 units of these Sardinian levies, which is enough to have him patrol the region. Actually, I think you only need 2 because the General's unit itself also counts. But it doesn't matter, we'll give him some units. Get this army in too. And soon we'll have 4 legions at the ready. Budigala is obviously still something that we want to take out in the future. This Carthaginian army here just seems stunned. They haven't done anything for the last few turns. We'll wait for our navy, and I think at that... Actually, no, we're not going to wait for our navy. We're going to go for this pretty much straight away. Actually, can we cross here? Yeah, we can. Hold on. I'm just confused by the Gituldi army sitting around here. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so... Big garrison, army in there, and 2 navies. Move up our other army too. The path is blocked. There you go. And that is, I think, another auto-resolve battle for us. Very comfortable one. And now we own our first settlement in modern-day Spain, right? We don't have anything up there yet. That's still in France, so we're in Spain now. Meanwhile, in politics, if we take a look at this, the Papiria are pretty happy now, mostly because of the provincial initiatives, 15 loyalty, the promoted characters. They're quite happy now with their leader too, likes Easterners, rather than thirst for power is obviously great. We're still overly influential in the Senate, which is not ideal. I'd rather have it be respected in the Senate, as the benefits are overall greater, such as public order across the board. Although at this point it doesn't matter as much, especially because eventually we will transition into an empire as well. We are Empire level 5 actually, so maybe we should actually raise our influence here and try and go for this, as things are looking pretty stable right now. So before things get even worse, it might be a good idea to try and transition as soon as possible. So to do that, we're going to need to rank up some of our generals here, get them some influence. We can also use gather support, which is an action that you can use, I think, on your party leader. Or not on your party leader. Either way, gather support is going to reduce other factions' loyalty a little bit temporarily. But the influence that you get is obviously permanent. So if we have money left over, which we basically never have, we can use that on gather support and slowly but surely creep up to that 65% threshold and then transition into being an empire as well, which is something we might as well get out of the way now. Okay, we'll get this guy closer to Karalis. Actually, I'll just click on Karalis and let him do the rest. These armies have retreated now.
I serve only Rome.
And I think the way to Tarako is pretty much free at this point. We're gonna move closer.
Ready for battle.
I think we'll raid for another turn.
That path is blocked. At once. Ready for orders.
I think with this army here, no, we'll keep them next to this as well. This is obviously a bit not the greatest move because we're using up a lot of these region supplies, especially with the raiding. I'm actually going to cancel the raiding because that means these supplies go down faster.
My people are proud, as are
So
yours.
Pergamon has been asking me for this deal for the past 50 turns or so. I'm just going to take it. It's no benefit to us, but I just wanted to shut up. Okay, we have the Artabri moving in up here as well. Our spy just spied them. Let's see. Oh, well, we already have a spy down here. I'm going to keep her up here and actually move her to Numantia. Meanwhile, her, I'm going to move down here. This was where most of the Carthaginian armies were at. You can see this is a bit of a problem. I'm not sure what the Dusutani here are doing. Just giving moral support to the Carthaginians, it seems. I think maybe we should move our navy up, because we can help resupply these 4 armies and also siege down Tarako. Armies down here are now almost fully replenished. We're going to get our hands on some of this Iberian cavalry here, as we are in need of more melee cavalry, and these guys kind of fit the bill. I think we'll actually get 2 of these, get rid of one of these Libyan cavalry units. Do that. Much more balanced than before. Meanwhile, up here, I've been wanting to fix these armies for quite a while now, so let's get that out of the way before all of our money is gone again. We need a first cohort, and we need 1 more unit of legionaries. And then we do need 2 units of... Wait, hold on. We only need one more unit. This is the unit of Hastati that we can still upgrade. So, yeah, I don't need to get rid of anything. We just need 2 units of spearmen here, which we'll get in Cisalpina, hopefully.
Ready for battle.
Okay, and that means we have essentially two legions ready to go and
Finding shelter.
start taking out some of these Alpine tribes, like the Helveti, the Reti, and the Toriski. Especially the Toriski, I think. Are we trading with them? Oh yeah, never mind. We're trading with them. I think it's about time we canceled some of these. So the Reti are military allies of the Helvetii, and the Toriski are allies of the Loigos, which are a much larger faction in the north. You can see they have territories all the way up to Lugia, reaching down to Pannonia, Dacia. So they are pretty massive Germanic faction. That's something else we'll be dealing with in the future. The Germanic tribes. That's going to get a bit spooky up in the Germanic forests. Where I live around this territory here. Well, a bit further up. It's a bit hard to tell with the fog of war, but somewhere around here, I'm in the south of Germany. In the vaguely mountainous part of Germany. Okay, over here, we're going to wait until our navy is here, and then we'll start sieging down Tarako. I want to take as few losses as possible. We could probably take this place within 1 turn, but I want to make sure we don't take needless casualties as we have a mass amount of Carthaginians over here. Hopefully, if we take out more of their settlements here, we can force them to get rid of some of them as their income is just not going to be high enough. We should actually try and take out this place with our navy. Should we do that? No, we're gonna wait. I think we should move our navy up north. They'll be there next turn. And we'll take this out soon. I want my navy healthy right now, especially because they can resupply our army at land. Our governor in Rome is now also max rank at the age of 46. You can see he's looking very experienced, providing the maximum benefits. It's always a tragedy in DEI because these skills that you can get are so freaking good. Whenever a governor dies, it can cost you thousands per turn and just has an incredible impact on public order. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Well, do I fight this myself and just sink as many of them as I can? Oh man. I mean, they can only field 2 fleets at once, right? I feel kind of bad for that. No, I'm not going to do that just because I think I could win this 100% with a navy fighting these armies at sea. There's not a single dedicated navy ship. I could probably sink all 3 of these right now. But I'm gonna I'm gonna not do that just so we have a fun battle. I want to toy with the Carthaginians a little bit. I didn't move these 4 legions down here to have my navy wipe these guys out.
Stopping for now.
I know they say don't play with your food, but that doesn't apply to Carthaginians. Okay, we have some slums over here. Totally forgot about this place. Yeah, we need to get rid of those. That is my bad. That's going to cost us a bit of money. Not the end of the world. Meanwhile, the 2 armies here are replenished. These guys could use some more troops that are higher quality, but there's not really any great... Oh man, maybe we could get some of these Tordetani mercenary spears. One thing that I'm actually going to do down here is get rid of legionary volunteers and get my hands on some of these Scutari, which is a unit that I really like. And I think they are actually a better match for legionaries as well, as these guys are very strong flanking units with incredible, well, not incredible, but very high melee attack if you can get them into the enemy's flank. Incredible units in my opinion. So we'll get those into this army, which is kind of all over the place. Just a mix of African, Spanish, and Greek units, I suppose. Some Sicilians in there. This is just a big cultural melting pot, I would say. With our navy here, we can target this one Carthaginian army that is just out at sea. Although they're probably going to try and retreat. Nope. Get them out of the way.
Waiting for a new course.
We could attack them, which would very likely force more of their troops out. I'm not sure if that's what we want here. I'm gonna send this navy up to Tarraco, and then next turn we'll be ready to start sieging. We should stop delaying here because we're going to run out of supplies. Meanwhile, we have a Carthaginian army from Mastia sailing down to Siga. We'll definitely want to stop that, so I'm going to send these guys over. I think they actually came from Katuba, no? I think they left... No, this army is from Katuba. I still don't know where the Carthaginians have all this money from. It must just be scripted into their pockets, because they don't have enough settlements to sustain the amount of armies that they have, especially not these ones with 2 elephants in them. Actually, we can't recruit any more of the Ligurian spearmen here. We recruited the maximum, so we're gonna get some of these Ligurian mercenary spear band. A bit more expensive, but what can you do? Okay, so Siga is very likely going to go to the Carthaginians again, who decided to set sail from Mastia in the middle of their homeland, being attacked by 4 legions from the north and the navy close to their border and another army over here. They decided to just be annoying and go over to Siga and get their army killed, because as soon as they take this, we're going to wipe them out with our other legion. But, you know, to each their own. It's maybe not the most strategically sound move they could have done, but it is a move for sure. Unless they liberate now. Okay, no liberating. Okay, there's the improved plumbing. Unfortunately, we have like no money right now. Mauritania, imminent rebellion. That's fine. We'll deal with that. We should actually put this army here in patrol stance. Right there. Yeah, I mean, the public order is screwed either way. Maybe they'll come back and attack Siga and this time take it. That's possible. Over here, we're gonna blockade, and then we're gonna start sieging. That's one. And we'll keep our legions in range. Plenty of supplies in the region, so we should be fine. Plus we have our ship here with the supply ship. Sorry, our navy with the supply ship. Just resupplying. We could go for this straight away. But I think we'll probably get ourselves some siege equipment first. Especially because we can siege this with these troops that I mean, it's a harsh thing to say, but I don't care about them as much as our other legions. So if we take some losses here, and the enemy in the settlement with their army and garrison takes losses as well, then that's something I will take. Meanwhile, Budigala, as you can see, was taken by the Averni. So the Averni pushing into Carthaginian lands as well now. They're actually good friends of ours now. We're trading with them. We're on good terms. You want non-aggression pact? I'll pay you some money. I mean, it's moderate right now. Let's try without money. Okay. No, they want money.
Speak as well as a bard, but I must be unswayed by all.
We'll give them 1 grand. Nope, 2 grand.
The gods would be displeased if I said yes.
If we can maintain good relations with the Averni for a while, that would be nice. Because that means we don't have to worry about this territory here at all, and we can kind of take the Alps in peace, and then maybe fight the Germanic tribes together with the Averni. Making everyone your enemy right off the bat is not a good idea. Keep some of them on your side, fight together, and this right here is pretty scary. That's a lot of Carthaginians in the center of Spain moving, it seems, to Cortuba. I do think that we should probably move our army over here away, just considering how much enemy presence there is in central Spain now. As if they attack this settlement, that does mean we will be forced into a battle. And his army is under strength right now because I got rid of some units, which in hindsight was not the smartest idea. So we're gonna move them across the pond once more. I do also expect actually that the enemy is going to attack Siga. They're gonna go for this again. I'm gonna move this army a little bit closer. It's not like we can save the settlement, right? If they go for it, it's probably gone either way. We'll move them halfway there. It's also not like we can save this region from a rebellion because the public order is just too bad. And we'll keep these guys right there. And these guys will move into into Tingis. And this place I'm going to cancel all building construction because I do think they're going to take this next turn. That gives us a little bit more money to use in other places. Oh. Okay, so the army in Tarraco is attacking our navy at sea. That is such a genius move, man. The Carthaginian military genius strikes once more, attacking our navy at sea while their settlement is being sieged in a battle that they are 100% going to lose. Ah, you love to see it.
We still have a good wind.
This is some Game of Thrones. I just forgot about the navy level of incompetence. Okay, that is exactly what I was fearing, right? This is the Carthaginian army that is attacking our settlement here at Gadir. So that is fortunate. We could have kept our other army here and then probably fought them off, but I don't care enough about this settlement yet. We haven't done much here. We'll just retreat across the pond again. Siga goes to them. There's the rebellion. This is fine. They're gonna take some more damage, and then we come in with our other legion and wipe them out. Again, these are all the border regions. They'll trade places, you know, well, trade factions, you know, go back and forth until eventually we just win. They go attack our navy again. Genius. I think I'm gonna fight this one myself once more. Take out this Carthaginian army here. Just making sure we don't take too many losses, as this battle is sort of a 65% one. Because I did not press the mute button once more after I muted myself during the loading screen, which there's no reason for anyways, you're going to get the rest of this episode with me re-recording it after the fact, as I did not have it in me to record this episode again for 2 hours. So this is about half an hour raw without any editing. It's probably going to be less inside of the episode, especially because towards the end of this episode I was babbling on for God knows how long. You see me struggling with the unit placement here as the Rome jankiness strikes once more. So our army formation here is very standard. We have our legionaries in the middle, flanked by our mercenary spearmen on either side. And we have our slingers and this one unit of archers up front, and then some cavalry on either side. You can see the enemy. I was very surprised here by how quickly they rushed out of the settlement with their cavalry and the elephants. So I actually get my archers and slingers charged here. And I pull them back, but it's way too late. I was also struggling a little bit with the controls here, as my units just wouldn't move the way that I wanted them to. 2,000 hours played, by the way. But it ended up not being so bad outside of us losing some Exensi, which we want to get rid of anyway. So this is just fast track getting them out of our military. I'm just joking. I think we replenished them, but you can see our Numidians here are targeting these elephants, as they do have javelins and those do good damage against elephants. But ultimately it's not enough, so the elephants on either side charge into our spearmen, which is not the end of the world. It's better them than our legionaries. And then we go for a slightly over-ambitious push in the middle here. You can see me charging the enemy already. It's probably too early for that. I got baited into that by the amount of fire we were taking from enemy javelins and so on. Kind of baited me into some stupid action, which is exactly the purpose of skirmishes. You can see our Numidians, our Campanian cavalry in this case, targeting the elephants. They're taking good damage, and this is where I realized that we pushed a little bit too aggressively in the center. I'm moving up some more legionaries to support us here. We do end up in a fairly good position. Over here we're turning around the Campanian cavalry to engage these guys in melee, and then we're pulling up these spearmen, which are freed up on the side. So we're fighting the elephants here on the side. This enemy army actually had 3 elephants, some of which were a little bit battered. You see our spearmen are definitely going to reach the Campanian unit here in the system, and we've only lost about 2 of them, 2 cavalrymen. It's fantastic. Meanwhile, our legionaries, they're pushed a bit too far in the center, holding off their entire army here. It was actually going quite well at the end of the day, even though they pushed a bit too aggressively. We managed to create a very nice front line, moving in some reinforcements. The problem is that our elephants that we had on the right side here have no opening that they could push into the enemies here with. Right, there's some spearmen that they're holding back. So our elephants are kind of useless. Yeah, I could run them into the side, but they wouldn't have a great effect. We continue to fight the enemy elephants on this side too, using some of our ranged units, our skirmishers, to take out the big targets. And we're moving some cavalry behind the enemy here, with the reasoning that I want to bait the enemy spearmen, at least some of them, out, so we can use our elephants here effectively. We're charging some of these spearmen up front. This is a smaller unit, but retreating them again. So that's just not enough of an opening. Chasing down some enemy skirmishers in the back, again hoping to pull back some of these spearmen to create an opening for our elephants. We could have probably marched them around the left side looking at this right now. Would have taken a little bit longer, but we end up getting them in there in any case. We freed up some of our cavalry units on the side now. Our spearmen, they're all coming back. We're definitely winning over here. Some of our legionaries took a bit of a beating up front, obviously holding back much of the enemy army. We pull them out here and deploy a quick rally. And inspire actually, which is going to boost our stats. Some of the enemy units managed to push through here. I'm going to charge them with the elephants. Meanwhile, our cavalry continues to take out the Viaria slingers here in the back. At this point, the battle is pretty much won, even though it doesn't look much like it, as a lot of enemy troops left. But they are just not deployed in good locations, right? Our Roman legionaries not going to have any trouble holding off the infantry of the Carthaginians here. And here we're going for a very big cavalry charge. Obviously with less than ideal cavalry, these guys don't have great charge bonuses as skirmish cavalry, but getting any sort of cavalry into the enemy's back is going to be good, as it provides you the morale negative. You can see across the board these guys are struggling, and we are also going to use our archers with fire arrows here very soon, hopefully. You can see the enemy general here kind of snuck around. I didn't even see him. I'm not sure where he came from. I must have been blind. But he managed to sneak in there, and he's engaging our Numidian cavalry, which is not ideal. The Numidians are going to suffer because of that. But at this point, I decide to just stick it and attack this blob of infantry and make sure we rout them before anything too bad can really happen to these guys. And now the elephants come in, because there's an opening here. We can just run through the enemy general. But the battle is pretty much done at this point. So they succeeded in holding back our elephants for a long time. It just wasn't meant to happen. But we managed to deploy our elephants towards the end here, even though it is a bit late and the battle is sort of already decided. See, we're just mopping up the rest of them here. There's some sacred band out here still, but outside of that, this was a fairly clean battle. Although I think with a little bit more melee cavalry, we would have done a slightly better job here. We really need to fix this army composition in the future. Okay, that is Siga back in our hands. Now we just have to deal with the rebels, which we'll do in the next turn, as we do not have enough movement this time around. Now over here in Tingis, we are going to stay pretty defensive for the time being. We want to recruit a few more units in this army. And then we'll stay in the south here, as the Carthaginian presence next to Katuba is obviously a little bit scary. The amount of troops that are waiting up there. Meanwhile, over here, we have enough troops to auto-resolve this battle now and take out Tarraco if we want to. We're going to move the armies here out of range to basically only use this army here with troops that are easy to replace. All of them, well, most of them using foreigner population. And then we have enough movement to move all three of these armies over to the bridge right here. And also we have our allies, the Atabri, which is going to be very useful, who we have turned into a client state. We're going to be looking to turn a lot of factions into client states wherever we can, as this allows us to expand much more rapidly across the map. If we can take out certain enemies that basically we declare war on them, fight them for a little bit, and instead of going for a full-blown invasion, we just client state them. It's going to be much faster getting through the campaign. We don't need to own all of the territories ourselves. In fact, sometimes it's very valuable to just client state certain territories, especially in border regions where they can help you against common enemies. I'm checking diplomacy with the different Alpine tribes here, the Reti, Helvetii, the Toriski, and the Latovici. The Reti and Helvetii are obviously biggest buddies, and the Reti are defensive allies of the Boii as well, to the north. So what we're doing here is cancelling the trade deals that we have with these factions, as I will be looking to invade here during the near future. We're gonna have to cancel these trade deals now to not take a penalty whenever we do that. So I think it's like 3 turns from this moment on when we can invade. Although we're very likely going to want at least another army to make this happen cleanly, but we could also invade with just 2 legions. They are powerful enough to take out these Alpine tribes with relative ease. Meanwhile, there's not much left of the Carthaginians over in Spain, looking at this, and also the Averni, as you can see, are coming in. Now, putting on some more pressure on the Carthaginians in the region. I'd like to avoid the Averni taking Numantia and Iplacea if possible, but it's unlikely we'll be fast enough. And it's not the end of the world if they do end up taking it. The important bit is that we take the valuable settlements by the coast. It's going to be a bit difficult because that does mean stabilizing the region is somewhat harder, as it's going to be cultural differences. You can see the ultimate objectives down here are victory conditions. Hispania is actually part of that, so we will need to own this entire territory. Finish researching the mercenary auxiliaries, which is fantastic because that reduces the mercenary upkeep costs, of which we actually have quite a few, so this is definitely welcome. Plus the 3rd tier and 4th tier population growth is going to be very valuable for us with our new legionaries. So this is a good time to get this research done. Over here, the Nasamones are currently attacking the Egyptians, which is not terrible for us because this is another opportunity to expand. We could declare war on the Nasamones here, which would allow us to take both Kyrene and Orgula, provided the Nasamones do succeed in taking out Kyrene, which would significantly help us on this side, as Kyrene is a major settlement, and we could get rid of the Nasamones while also making even bigger friends of the Egyptians for the time being, as that would mean we're fighting one of their enemies. Let's wipe out the rebels here with our army. And that's that done. Hopefully the Carthaginians will leave us alone. We should probably leave this army near the settlement, but past me does not know that, because obviously they could send a navy in there. The garrison is pretty battered. Just retake the settlement. We'll see if that comes back to bite us in the butt in the next episode. Checking the movement ranges here. I do want to use this army here to attack the next settlement once more. You see me kind of consolidating the Ligurians here. I do want to kind of get rid of the Ligurian cavalry, replace them with some other cavalry, as we've used them for a while. Might as well spend a bit of money. Some of the choices that I make in these campaigns aren't always necessarily the 100% optimal ones, as I do like to change some units around every now and then just to experiment with what's available. And in this case, I think the Ligurians, we've had them for quite a while, and they're pretty battered right now. And might as well take on some of the local Spanish units. I do also really want to get some Scutari still. Scutari are a fantastic unit that I've gotten actually beaten by several times in some battles. They give me a bit of trouble because of their very good melee capabilities. And we're gonna continue to use gather support and get our overall influence up, as our goal is still going to be getting to 65% influence, which will allow us to transition into an empire. Now I want to get that out of the way ideally before we start transitioning into level 4 buildings, because once we do that, it's going to be much harder to do, as our overall public order is going to be lower. So we'll want to do that ideally beforehand, or right as we start to get that done in some of our major regions. Up here I make a bit of a mistake because one of our armies does not actually have a baggage train, but I realized it too late. I thought I gave both of them a baggage train. I sent them in there, and the mountain pass is during the winter obviously frozen. So these guys are going to be taking attrition, which is something I should have noticed. Over here, our navy is almost replenished, and I do want to move them up to assist once we take the settlement in the north that I still cannot say on YouTube. I'm gonna move the army in Tingis out just to improve public order, as otherwise we will be approaching another rebellion here. And down here, we're going to attack this army that's raiding us foolishly with one of these. I'm not using the other armies again, just to keep them fully replenished and ready to fight if the Carthaginians do end up putting up more of a fight against us. But right now it's not looking like they are. They're definitely just retreated to Mastia. I think they're gonna try and defend the major settlements that they still own, the walled settlements, as they realize that they are outclassed. Okay, I'm going to attack the fleet next to the settlement here this turn. We're also taking Ibosim here from the enemy with our fleet, which is another settlement that we do not have to attack with our army, which is fantastic. And I also don't think that the Carthaginians really have any fleet left that could be a threat to us in that settlement. It also provides us a settlement close to the coast here that we can park our fleet in. And that's pretty much it for this episode. We're in a very good position to wipe out the Carthaginians or whatever is left of them. We are going to start making a bit more money soon. We're back down again from the start of this episode. We're around 20,000 per turn, obviously because we are fielding way more troops now. But while we are in a very strong position, we do also have plenty of enemies, especially once we push north into the Alps. We will be dealing with a lot of factions that could invade from many different positions, and we will have to field a lot of armies. So we really need to get our economy rolling. You can see the Athenians here are super powerful, holding all of Dacia, Thracia, and I think they're actually on pretty good terms with Epirus as well. So we will be facing a fairly united Greece over there. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, consider leaving a like down below so other people can find it too. And also consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.